alpha or beta that basically says, is this flag on? Is this flag off?
You've started.
We have. So, as usual, we are going to see what's in the magic shop. And
on white.
Ooh,
Fog.
wall. And lit 3. All right, wall, lit 3, and Brack. That is a solid first level without trivializing the seed. That's what we like to see.
It's not bad. I actually like that. No nuke, no life, no cure 4. All good.
Yeah. Ooh, silver swords are cheap and available in Canaria, so that is good to have on hand. So we do have a free ship, so the runners do not necessarily need to go kill Garland, but they're going to anyway, because that is 2 key items right off the bat. We do have fetch quest and normal NPCs turned on as our incentive locations, and I believe the other 2 locations are Canaria Locked and Volcano. Is that correct, Blaze?
I believe so. I can double check for you real fast.
But to answer the question, chat, yes, this is a Woat seed. So...
Oh, we're going to be here 3 hours.
That's not necessarily true. Woat seeds can be fast, they just might also be painful.
I remember your one Woat seed. Slow walking speed.
Well, okay, those are Woat flags. Woat flags are different from Woat seeds. Oh!
Ribbon! Right off the bat.
Sunsword, Ice Shield, and a ribbon? Right off the bat. That is a Woat seed right there. As most people who know their sword memes know, the Sunsword is my personal favorite. So that just bodes well in general.
Spell side.
I'm wondering why he's going for lit 3 instead of just bracking Garland. Garland has kind of complete garbage for stats. Like, you fire off a brack and he's probably dead. But
Canoe.
Floater and Canoe. Now, we don't have extended open progression on tonight, so there isn't a dock over by the Ryukon Desert. But that doesn't matter anymore. We are going to be airborne in
10 minutes max.
Probably 8 to 10 minutes, because you still have to actually get over there, and they don't necessarily have enough money to easily counter-manipulate their way over to the desert.
Well, it looks like Spellzap is trying it. So, we'll see how far into this match that we have air.
I mean, it's more along the lines of he'll be fine. He's got lit 3 at his disposal, I say, as the Sahags wipe out almost his entire party. But yeah, it's one of those things when you have lit 3 at a first level spell, getting to the Ryukon Desert is just a matter of how many fights you get into and how quickly you deal with them. And Spellzap, excuse me, yeah, he just is diving right on in. Did not pick up any of those save items.
It looks like Shadow Wisher will be our first floater.
Alright, yeah, you called it. We are less than 5 minutes and we are airborne. Let's see, that is a temper that is red wizard accessible. So that's good to see. Yeah, we do not have confused old men on tonight. We are going with the flags that were used last week for the ducklings, so yeah.
So the crazy old men aren't doing yoga?
Oh no! They are doing yoga. Look at them. They are holding their poses very well. That is excellent form. That is yoga to a T.
Or Tai Chi, take your pick.
Yeah, either way. So, of the 2 runners we are following tonight, Shadow Wisher is going to be the first one to the air, and she is making a line straight to BK to go ahead and get her 4th key item. I believe that we are looking at plus 10% experience per key item recovered, so that's going to be fun. Invis and A-Rub in white magic at 2nd level, so not anything too exciting, but there is Saber at level 2 black, and both of these runners are lugging a thief around, so that is very nice to see.
And no complaints on the magic so far. I'm actually kind of excited, as I said. There's no Life 2, Invis 2, Nuke out and showing its ugly head this early.
Well, neither runner has checked Elfland yet, so
True.
there's still two more opportunities for it to pop up somewhere convenient. Now,
Lonely Old Man has the crown.
yeah, so Spell Zap, I imagine, is going to go ahead and make a swing over to Northwest Castle, turn that in, and then swing up to turn the adamant that the old men handed over. Because the pirate, meanwhile, apparently is a raider of the Lost Tower, which he could get to if he had a boat, but as we all know, that ship was on the other side of the southern continent, so no luck there.
Therefore, exit on level 5 spells.
And warp as well. Oh, but fast is in the warp spot, so that's going to make things interesting. So, for those of you who have played the vanilla game, one thing that we did not that does not change in the randomizer, unless you put certain flags on, is what spell spot you learn. So, whatever you can and can't learn in vanilla, that's what you can and can't learn in terms of what position. So, the 3rd slot in Black Magic in Melmond is normally the Warp spell, which is inaccessible until after class change. Today, that is the Fast spell. That is a spell you want. That is a spell you very badly want.
To jump in, Shadow Wisher, Fade, and Invis 2 on white level 3, while Ice 3 was on level 3. The old man had, the kindly old king had,
Life is not white mage locked, but Life 2 is, and Invis 2 and Fade were also white mage locked. So
same with the Nuke.
Well, Nuke's fine. Level 4 Black Magic is open to everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, the white magic, that's going to make things really interesting, because I believe, yeah. Shadow Wisher brought a white mage. No, she didn't. All right, yeah. So Spellzap has a couple of white mages in his back pocket. He may bring them back up when he sees the white magic in Elfland. He might be committed to the two Light Warrior strat, but
looks like Shadow Wisher is going to be getting the crown. The kindly old king had the cube. So Mirage Tower and Sky Tower are fully accessible now.
yeah, so this is going to be a quick seed. Now, we do have Crab Cakes over in chat more or less saying that the white mages are basically not going to be brought up, but I feel like if you aren't considering bringing those white mages around, you bring black mages. They're faster to kill. And yeah, we've got Spellzap and Shadow Wisher up, running the gauntlet. Now, we don't have Zozo Melman flags tonight, so you don't have to touch you can touch the sand with impunity.
Zozo Melman is actually one of my favorite flag sets, truthfully. I've grinded there for a bit. Like, kind old king had the loot.
Yeah, so far, the big thing that we have not seen is the key and, well, basically anything that gives us access to anywhere that isn't the tower. So
I'm kind of hoping that... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, this... oh yeah, there are a total of 5 runners off stream. We were just only able to kind of get 2 up with a little bit of the technical difficulties. So Both of these runners, though, are opting to go ahead and tackle Ice Cave, which, well, never mind. Shadow Wisher's tackling Ice Cave. Spellzap is remembering he hasn't been to Elfland.
As I said, I'm kind of hoping to see someone dive Marsh, and the key is there.
Well, that's only going to happen if this chest here in Ice Cave is not a key item.
Hey, we got Tri-State flags, so anything can happen.
Well, yeah. If this turns out to not be a key item, if this is just a normal chest, the Tri-State did not incentivize Ice Cave, that means we have exactly one loose item. And under those circumstances, what we'll probably see before any kind of a marsh play is Volcano play. Volcano is a guaranteed key item, and it's a Fiend dungeon. So both of these runners, I imagine, if either way, are probably going to go to Volcano next. The only thing I could see them not going to Volcano for is if the key item here is in fact the key, because then they'll probably route to the free chests first, and then double back to Volcano.
Spellzap just burned off 2 encounters. Wish I could see the other runners so I could see how they're doing.
Well, I imagine most of them are probably following a similar route to these two. You get that floater early, you get that airship. The only deviation I could see is someone might be going for the Cardia Islands before they start dipping dungeons.
It's not necessarily a bad play.
Well, item magic's off, but you still could come up with a power bonk or a casting item that drops like Fire 2 or Harm 2, something that'll make Ice Cave a little bit safer to traverse. One thing to keep in mind, though, is we do have randomized encounter tiles today. So it is important for both of these runners to check what's here. Yeah, that
Shadow Wish had just restarted.
Yeah. I don't think that she actually has that red mage high enough level to cast level 4 white magic, which, since both of our life spells are level 4 white magic today, means that party was not coming back up. And I think Exit at least was successful, but that's a level 5 white magic spell, so if you can't cast life, you can't cast Exit. Spellzap deciding that whatever's in that other chest is not worth fighting those Chimera a second time.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Kill just some scum.
Yeah, at least it's easy to clear out.
All for some money and a soft.
Alright, so we've got FFS Zilla over in chat letting us know that Kausu Balu, one of our off-stream runners, has apparently deviated a ton. I'm going to choose to believe that that's either a Marsh Cave gamble or a dive into Rodless Earth. Or it could actually, I guess it could be a play into Mirage. Actually, wait, with the canoe, Ordeals and Waterfall are also available. Yeah, there's a lot of deviations you could do from here. Ah, okay, filling me in. So that's Astos to Volcano for Kausu Balu. That's one of our newer ducklings as well. But we do have a defense sword on the way to the eye chest. Although today the eye chest actually does not have any eyes at all.
Just some bones. And Dan...
Well, no, I'm just saying none of those monsters had eyes, but the marsh dream is dead. We have a bottle.
I'm sad.
Well, on the bright side, at least the fairy doesn't have to wait around. Like, just think about the fact that she's not sitting in a cold cave, just just knocking on her bottle, waiting for someone to come save her.
Hey,
And see, now you're happy. She's
hey, listen. Basically, right now, neck and neck.
well, it's zero loose now. The ice cave was a tri-state flag tonight, crab cakes. So we didn't know until Spellzap opened the chest just now whether or not there was a key item in. But either way, Spell is almost out of the ice cave without really running into any major trouble. In spite of the fact that he's basically lugging around 2 living people. Yeah.
Battle's doing a full clear, which I think is a good idea just for the extra money possible.
Yeah. I do agree with Spellzap's decision early on to just kind of dump off the...
Wait.
No, to dump off that chest that was guarded by Chimera.
Does any of our the other chest was?
It's one of those things I can't imagine any of our runners checking that unless they know they're hunting for something loose. Like, it's... That Chimera battle is far too risky to, like, hazard.
I did not catch the item.
Now, Crab Cakes, you're misreading the flag set there. If there's 17 incentive locations and 18 items, that's 1 loose. It'd have to be the other way around with 17 items and 18 incentive locations for it to be a dud location.
We had key.
Yep. So we're going to be able to make a play on basically all of those free chests.
Nice.
So Canaria Locked is one of our incentive locations, so we're probably going to see Spellzap basically go counterclockwise.
Nothing important in the Elf Castle.
Or, you know, he'll follow the Final Fantasy Randomizer's tradition and immediately do something completely different.
Oh, he went to Canaria Island or Canaria Castle, Cardia, whatever.
Yeah, no, this is par for the course.
Up. Tail. So, literally, Sin, and he's probably going to promote.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's much else he really needs at this point. Maz is incentivized, so he's almost certain to find it.
Needs the rod.
Well, yeah, no, he's still looking for key items and all that. I'm thinking in terms of equipment. Like, he's probably almost done opening boxes, to be completely honest. Like, I imagine he'll open the, oh, hey, I didn't catch that Oxyl was our key item in Gaia, but...
Or did I?
So, never mind. He might still be opening some boxes looking for the cash for that, but... Yeah, it's one of those things, assuming he finds the money here in the Cardia Islands, I cannot imagine Spellzap opening many more boxes, because he knows he's going to find a Mazza somewhere along the way, because all of the key item locations remaining are NPCs, and 2 fairly easy, and a volcano chest that's, you know, right there. So, yeah. He's going to find a Mazza somewhere along the line. He's already got decent enough armor for that thief, who's soon to promote to a ninja. And, you know, he can probably find something decent enough. Like, there's nothing he really needs once he has that class promotion and that Mazza. So, all he'll need at that point is levels.
He almost has it with just the equipment that he's been finding.
Yeah. So
Warhammer.
Helpful for conserving spell shots, but I mean, once you get that thief up to the mid-20s, you got a Cuisinart, you're fine.
Just imagine being able to dual wield in this game.
I mean, oh yeah, they found ice armor in Dwarf, so oh yeah, never mind. That ninja is good to go. You just find the you literally just need to find that Mazda and you're good. I completely forgot that we saw ice armor earlier, so yeah, this is literally pick up the Mazda. You don't need to open another box.
Katana wouldn't be bad. Katana Masa. You can literally just.
You don't need a katana with these flags. I think we're looking at 150% on bosses. Yeah, Life 1 is available for Red Wizard. Life 2, though, is White Mage locked. Along with Fade and Invis 2, but we have the Defense Sword, so you don't really need to have those. So yeah.
Those right spells telling off.
Okay, yeah, he just got enough for that Oxyel, so yeah, if Spells app opens anything other than greed chests for the rest of this game, I will be surprised.
So, what are you thinking? 110 max?
Yeah, actually, that's like, unless he hits a brick wall somewhere along the line, that defense sword is going to give him plenty of firepower. He has a saber learnable on that ninja, so that's going to give him a... Yeah, he's got saber on the ninja, temper on the red mage, and the two-man strat, you're definitely looking at mid to late 20s, so he'll have charges of both.
Sword, run sword.
Yeah, so like I said, he's gonna easily hit the high 20s, and if he opts to do any kind of, like, stop for a minute, take some easy fights, he'll hit the 30s without any trouble. So he'll have the firepower he needs to be able to put pain on enemies, especially once he finds the Mazda. So
Treasury was basically empty.
Oh
Just
yeah,
money and-
Crabcake's, sorry to cut you off there, Blaze. Crabcake's pointing out in chat, Warbeck's required tonight. He'll hit 30s, easy.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm not going to spoil this where he's at, but yeah, he is definitely required.
Well, I mean, when he's required, he's guaranteed to be standing in front of Tiamat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No,
Because I've actually seen him in the maze as
that's
well.
patrolling Warmech. So there's 3 settings Warmech can have. Vanilla, which is just he's a random encounter. Patrolling, which means he's wandering around the maze. Or required, which means he is standing in front of the door to Tiamat. And you can also have whatchamacallit, Unleashed Warmech, which I can't remember if that's in the same drop down as the other 3 settings, but that just basically says, hey, so Warmech's in every encounter table.
That seems like that. It's not pretty.
It depends on how badly you've shuffled up the encounter tables. Because technically where Warmech sits is an encounter that you're not going to see if you encounter manipulate, unless you want to see it. But if you shuffle up the encounter tables, that's where things get messy. And oh my, that is a trap tile that has been shuffled to the multiple Agama fight. That is
Procate and Slab. In
yeah,
Waterfall.
but that's all well and good. But that is if if there is any sort of a grind needed, Shadow Wisher just found it. That multiple Agama fight is going to do work if you need to raise.
It's not a hard to come back to get it.
Yeah, nah, that's like a minute.
It looks like Shadow Wisher came back to the fight, but take it.
Well, no, she just popped into another trap tile on that same floor. But
is Carrie going to be paper today?
with the levels that with the levels that Shadow Wish is already at, Carrie might cause some trouble, but it's one of those things. If we've seen any kind of status effect spell so far, Carrie's no problem. Like, it's one of those things. Carrie is really only an issue if you can't manage to land something like Confuse on her. That vulnerability to status, that causes a lot of problems for her. And it's really the best way to deal with her, even if you're a very low level.
Thank you. Actually, I personally didn't know that, so I'm learning from you.
Yeah, no.
This is in Volcano.
Yeah, Herb is our incentive chest, so that's probably one of the last box we're going to see Spell Zap open, honestly.
So, logically, following logic, Herb leads to Rod, correct? Or it could, because we still haven't translated the slab yet.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. Rod can still be anywhere. So, in the Final Fantasy I randomizer, there's not really a logic per se. There's only what passes sanity. So, the way that the randomizer generally works, and there is some variation to this, especially like in beta where we are, but the general rule is, can I put, like, it puts things in places that they can be put. So, there's a few items that go in first. Key, canoe, are the two big ones. And I think there's a couple of other items depending on placement logic. With regard to ships, you can set it to, say, oh, hi, Blizzard Carry. Good thing we have a ribbon and ice armor.
That is gross.
That is very gross. But as I was saying, yeah, you probably want to use that defense, but that ink is going to make things helpful. We'll get back to what I was saying in a minute. Let's focus on this carry for a minute.
Do you think anything's going to be at Mermaids?
We're probably not going to find out. Like, Spell Zap is not going to go look in Mermaids, and oh, that's double plus ungood. So Shadow Wisher taking a wipe to carry there.
Not a paper carry.
Yeah, definitely a good bit of absorb, it looked like. At least with the weapons that Shadow Wisher has in hand. But at this point, she knows what chests to pop open, so she can go back in and make a second attempt with more resources at her disposal.
You can also do a quick grind on the Agamas.
Yeah, I'm going to point out that's not a commentator's curse. I pointed out, if you have something like Confuse, carry's not a problem. But there was nothing like Confuse. Mute also, I guess, in that situation would have been helpful. Anyway,
open chest.
I did say that Spell Zap was going to open greed chests. And those are greed chests. Like, the two chests on the floor above there, the three chests that you don't have to step on a tile for in Sharknado Room, those are greed chests. We're going to see spells that probably open the 4 chests before the maze as well. But outside of those, there's just no reason to open other boxes. But anyway, bouncing back to what I was saying before. What was I saying before?
It's confused and everything like that. Having
item placement logic. Thank you, Hale. Okay, so yeah, outside of a few items like the key, vehicles, and stuff like that, what the randomizer does is it literally just says, all right, what items are incentivized, what locations are incentivized. Put incentive items in incentive locations until I run out of one or the other. And then everything else goes to the winds. And then I look at the seed as a whole, and is every key item accessible? Okay. Then the seed is beatable. Like, do none of the key items lock themselves? Awesome. The seed is beatable. Have fun. That is the only logic that gets applied. So, basically, the way that you assess if, say, something has to lead to something else is if you have a situation where, like, floater is still somewhere out there or canoe is still somewhere out there. And so, like, that certain locations are cut off and that a key item that you would need can't be in one of those locations because, it would inevitably lead to something. Or, that you have several fetch quests left. And so, like, well, it can't be any of these items because it would eventually cause a loop if it was a fetch quest item. And while I was talking about that, spells app Bracken the Kraken.
Crumbled.
Yeah. Now, bracketing the Kraken is actually a really interesting thing to note. Kraken is not actually weak to the poison stone elemental. His weakness is actually lightning. But because of his very low spell resistance, he effectively has the same probability of getting bracked as Tiamat does.
About a 25% chance.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things where both of them, your best bet is just try and brack them. But it's for completely different reasons.
Well, Tiamat, you can also has the same. Doesn't she also have the same weakness on Bane?
Well,
5%?
Yeah, Bane and Brack are the same element.
Okay.
So she has a higher magic defense, but she's actually vulnerable to Brack, so it winds up balancing out. It's just a neat little coincidence. But yeah, Elmarkin pointing out in chat, Shadow Wisher gets that herb and immediately GTFOs. Meanwhile, Spells app is making the rounds, picking up nukes and lock 2s and all that good stuff. Which I like. I like grabbing lock 2. We do have a flag turned on in this seed that makes it so that the spell lock 2 has a 100% chance of connecting with a target, which is immensely valuable because lock and lock 2 reduce a target's evasion by 20. Yeah, meanwhile, we've got Classic Gamer down in chat dropping the hard numbers on exactly how much, on the numbers that affect the Bane Brack thing. And the Elf Prince has the Maza.
So Lupi has Rod.
No, because we haven't seen Ordeals yet.
Yeah.
So there's still. So actually, I think LaFane has to have the TNT. Or the crystal, which is going to lead to the other, which sure where that can lead. Okay, it
Well,
has the rod. Never mind. So I think that means that our fetch quest items will eventually terminate in a ruby. So Spellzap might be done checking key items unless he wants that Maza.
I don't see why he wouldn't want to go for the Masa.
Because he might not want to do all of the checks that are necessary to make sure you get the Maza.
True.
At this point, he's technically in go mode. He has everything he needs to finish the game except orbs. So
35 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And he already has one orb lit.
Yeah, Crabcakes is right. Volcano is at least, if he is going to check one more location, Volcano seems the most likely one to hit. But he's going to go ahead and attack Sky, which that does not seem like a bad plan. Yeah, he is swinging the Sun Sword with that ninja. I am an advocate that the Sun Sword is good enough. But I would admit knowing that Maza is available in a knowable location would at least make me stop and go, yeah, but...
Shadow's doing ordeals. Nice. Very two different routes.
Yeah, well, Shadow Wisher, she doesn't have that slab, so Lefane isn't an option. She still needs that rod, so she's going to go rod hunting. And she knows that Carrie is going to be a problem, so she could also be fishing for something like another ribbon, or maybe an ice shield, something to make Carrie a little more doable. Hell, even a wizard staff. A wizard staff would make Carrie extremely beatable at that point.
Doesn't wizard staff cause confuse?
Exactly.
Okay. Looks like Shadow's doing ordeals at a fairly quick rate and clip, so that's really nice. Spell Zap on Air 4 or Sky 4.
Yep, skipping right over the greed chests, so...
A real surprise there.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things... If he is thinking Sun Sword, Saber, and probably 3 or 4 casts of Temper, that's good enough at 150% with a Sun Sword. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's not like he may be leaning hard into the I'm going to have a ninja with a decent number of swings, even with a Sun Sword. I can probably proc enough crits to make it, if nothing rolls too terribly ludicrous on evade.
Yeah. And Shadow's wishing for warp right now.
She could have gone for it. She's got the levels.
You have one of the white mages live and kicking.
That's not a white mage. That is a meat tank that you put a pillowcase on.
Same thing. They're squishy.
Yeah, I forgot that we do have lock on the table. So that, I think, actually may... Yeah, he has temper, he has access to lock, he has access to fast, all of them on different levels. So that ninja can put out some punishment.
Hits 490. It's 232.
Yeah, he may actually just wind up skipping that volcano chest, but Shadow Wisher finds the power bonk.
Nice. And Warmack is down.
Yeah, I'm starting to think he may just gun it. Like if you're putting out that kind of if you're putting out those kind of hits on Warmack with minimal buffing, that's a good place to be. We also have the Opal bracelet here in Ordeals, so Shadow Wisher's going to have. Oh yeah,
Matt has been broken into pieces. Well, as Crab points out, it was Crab saying it wouldn't be called minimal with a lock, fast, and 4 tempers. But you know what? It went by within less than 2 minutes.
I didn't think that he fired
So
off more than 1 temper, but you were probably paying better attention than I was, CC.
I saw at least 2 to 3, so that doesn't surprise me.
Alright, well, that's why we keep chat around, to make me look like an idiot. Either way, the point I'm trying to make, though, is he might be able to pull it off with a Sun Sword if he skips over that incentive chest. But we'll see in about, I don't know, minute and a half. However long it takes to...
Lock down there?
Yeah.
So you were right. Ordeals had TNT. That will probably lead to what now? Okay. Xers. I fully understand you on that, where you say it takes 5 hours to finish a seed. My first seed, so I feel you completely.
Alright, yeah, CC called it. He is going to check this, and Herb is a free enough check, he's going to go, like, pop that open and see what he sees.
Wasn't Herb Massa?
Yeah, Herb leads to Massa, and that is exactly what Spells App wants to see. Because at that point, like, yeah, he's still going to be hurting for buffs, but at 150%, there's not a whole lot that he can conserve those buffs until basically Tier 2 and Chaos.
Tier 2, Tia. Yeah.
Honestly, he might be able to sneak past Kraken with only just using that defense.
Normally when I run, I don't bother with any buffs on the first 2, sometimes on Kraken.
Yeah, with Kraken, I think defensive buffing is going to be more important for him than offensive buffing. But it is one of those things, yeah, he can easily get past Lich 2 and Carry 2 without too much trouble if the seed's nice. And with Tile Shuffle on, he doesn't even need to worry about the Phantom, so...
He hasn't equipped it yet. He'll be equipping it hopefully in just another minute.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to bother putting Mazza on if you're going to go kill Lich. If anything, you know, that Sun Sword's nice to have, but... Okay, there we go. There's the switch. And yeah, he does have a bunch of nukes in tow as well, so... He has a lot of... Basically, there's a lot of options he has on the table.
Spells App is in go mode. One of the flag sets I see in beta, which I'm extremely jealous of myself, is... And they're gone in one talk, too.
Oh, the NPC guillotine?
Yes, I want that.
Yeah, it's not leaving alpha until we figure out a way to make the slabs not NPCs.
That would make sense.
Yeah, that's the only problem with the NPC guillotine is, in addition to executing things like bats and guys with mohawks and people in togas, it also erases things like the rod and the loot tile, aka things that you kind of are supposed to have to actually deal with.
Well, that would almost have to be an honor system if they didn't.
Well, that's the reason that it hasn't left alpha yet, is honor systems are all well and good, but yeah, the developers would rather actually force you to play the video game. Meanwhile, Chad is listing off all of the other beloved NPCs that NPC Guillotine also lets you kill. So yeah, Shadow Wisher, meanwhile, confirming the chain that runs TNT, Crystal, Ruby. But hey, Titan might get fed.
Teen Titan?
I've never actually asked his age. Huh. That is an interesting choice right there.
Missed it. What was the choice?
Shadow put the defense sword on the black mage. And, I mean, Spellzap did something over on the right screen. I think it involved some dude who lives in a basement. I don't know. But putting the light axe on her ninja instead of the defense sword, that is... So, the defense sword is one of those weapons that's a little bit underrated. It is definitely nowhere near something like the X-Cal or the Maza or the Katana or the Vorpal. But it's only a little bit weaker than the Sun Sword. It is a very solid in-game weapon, and generally, like, one of the strongest swords in the game, just in general. It's just one of those things where, because it's not one of those other weapons, it's just one of those things where you just don't think about it. Anyway, over on the right side of the screen, Spellzap's going into Topher. It is 47 minutes and 50 seconds. Yeah. If this Topher plays nicely, he's going to finish the seed in under an hour. Your average Topher dive takes somewhere between 8 to 10 minutes, if it's polite. So, yeah, sub-hour hype is alive, folks.
I have a question for you, Wout. Did you see Dang and Caleb's?
I did not.
Oh my god. This last one. He had a great play. And paper trail all through Topher until Chaos. Chaos had 4,600 HP, and as soon as he beat the 4 fiends, he did a double walk around, a double victory lap, and just got slaughtered.
Sounds about right. That's why I just don't ever bother with victory laps. But Shadow has taken her vengeance on Carrie, wisely heals her party before taking a single step, and she is on her way. Spellzap, meanwhile, is continuing to rack up experience as he hits a couple of worms.
That actually would be a good time to thank our hosts. I want to thank Speed Gaming Live for hosting us. Thank you, guys. We have our runners, Shadow Wisher, Spellzap. As you can see, they are running. Please give them a follow. If not, just a like. Thank you. As Classic Gamer says, the Gurmeduses don't have death touch, at least, which is a pleasant thing.
We still have time to find out something else has something stupid.
I want to thank our tracker, Ale. Doing a great job, so thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the status for off-screen runners. I do know that off-stream we do have St. Von Jester, Kalsubalu, and Danny 3883. So
That's why Danny's not tracking. Got it.
she does play this video game sometimes, y'all. She is not just a machine designed to track this video game.
Danny is an amazing lady.
Oh, absolutely.
So my hat is off to her.
But yeah, once more, Dang exists mostly to get punched in the face. And Dan is up to level 36.
My only thing is, how does Dang Wu feel about?
Feel about what? you cut out there, Blaze.
I'm sorry. I said I wonder how Dang Wu feels about being punched in the face, time and
He's
time
used
again.
to it. Spellzap has been doing this as long as he's been around, so I'm not surprised.
Well, friendly rivalry there.
Oh, that's bad. That is bad. Good thing that Spellzap has Cure 4, because that is really bad. That is a stun that landed on that ninja. But fortunately,
that's
Cure 4
nice.
fixes things, and that is a Blaze followed by a Nuclear. But that was 12 hits for 879 or so damage, so... Alright, cool, we're through Kraken. So I believe that Spellzap still has most of his buffs in place. Yeah, he hasn't spent a single Saber yet, and at worst he spent maybe 2 Tempers. So, he's got plenty of gas in the tank to knock out Tia 2, and as long as Chaos doesn't do something horrific, we're in good.
On Shadow Wisher's side, she just got slapped, so she's on her way. And took another dirt nap, 3-0.
Hey. He is 0-3. Or he is... Wait.
He's 3-0 for taking a dirt nap.
Thank you. And that is what's important. That is his job. And Tia 2 also goes down. So, the last hope for Team Fiend is if Chaos turns out to just be an absolute beefcake.
Well, as I said, the last commentary stream I did was Chaos was 4,600 HP.
Oh, that's not a beefcake. That's you don't need like when I say beefcake, I mean HP, evasion, and probably a spell that kills the red mage in like a spell that kills that red mage in 2 turns.
You should definitely take a look at that. 15 minutes of that seed. You will be just like, wow.
Weird has already spoiled it for me, so. But I will not say anything in case people want to go back and watch it on VOD later.
It was amazing.
Yep. Alright, so...
Let us see how Garland is.
Alright, fast goes up, defense goes up, Oh, hi, Cure 4. That was a bad place to sit. That's fine. There's only one Cure 4. Yeah, there's only one Cure 4 in the list, and that's plenty of room to deal with it. So anyway, there's Nuclear. But we've already gotten that fast off, so... yeah, no more Cure 4s in the list, so that's going to be potions. But oh dear, that is a punch to bring that ninja to his knees. So heal potion goes out, Maza goes out, and Chaos was not a beef gate today. That is a dead Chaos. So
At 54 minutes.
get your GGs in chat. That is an official SRL time of 54:46.
Congratulations, Spells app. Okay. Shadow's going through watering
Yeah.
pool right now.
Yeah, but Spells app's going to be hopping up here in a sec, so... or at least I assume he's going to hop up here in a second. But I think he's probably taking a moment to catch his breath, because that was a sprint, and that looks like Spells app joining us now.
Hey, Wout.
Mike is... There we go. Hey, Spells app. GG.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So... Congratulations on getting the other type of Woat special, the seed that is insane in terms of speed.
The canoe floater really does that, I think.
Yeah.
It called it. As soon as that happened, I was like, he's going to go for floater or get the airship within less than 5 minutes. And you did.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if the encounter table was going to play nice with you in getting over to the floater. So, just trying to think of comments from this seed. So, at what point did you just go, wait a moment, I'm in go mode?
Yeah, honestly, it was after ice. So the reason why I went to ice so early was that it informs your decision for the rest of the race. If it's incentivized, then that means there's no loose, and you're good to go as fast as you want, as fast as you're safe with your gear you have. So even just getting the knowledge of what is at ice, I think, is very important in this flag set.
Yeah, no, I definitely like both you and Shadow Wisher did make that early ice play, and first of all, getting that defense while looking through chests was definitely rewarding, but getting that information was the bigger reward. So I'm guessing, though, that check of the chest in Volcano was essentially a Maza's still out there, there's a good chance I'm going to be able to get a hold of it.
Yeah, it was a 50-50 at that point from what I was counting. It looked like Ruby was left and then Masa was left?
Yeah, so Ruby, Shadow actually did check that on stream, so we know that it went TNT at Ordeals, leading to Crystal at Smith, leading to Ruby at Matoya.
Yeah, I felt like you weren't putting in a ton of effort to get just to check the chest, because I was like, okay, well, it's either this or a whole another dungeon to check. And I was like, okay, well, I'm fine with just checking a little bit, hopping out of the way, checking that chest, and see if I can get a mass out of it.
Shadow just finished Kraken. Unfortunately, she did not have any Bracken the Krakens.
Yeah, but she took it down quick enough. So Ordeals actually did have the Opal Bracelet and the Power Bonk.
Oh, okay.
As well as the TNT. So Shadow at least didn't, get completely burned making that check. Now, she did get burned fighting Carrie. Get it? Because Volcano. But no.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
I love you, Shadow Wisher. But yeah, Carrie was a bit rude if you took her too early, but I think by the time you got to Carrie, you were already in your mid-20s.
Yeah, I did that second to last.
Sorry. As Clackens Gamer says, she got burned by a blizzard, no less.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Let's see, though. I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those things. This is one of the jettiest seeds I've ever seen. Like, you didn't have to do Ordeals. You didn't have to do Marsh Cave. You didn't have to do anything extra in any of the dungeons.
This was
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, there's just not a whole lot to commentate on aside from, wow, you did that stupidly fast.
That is awesome, Ale. Zap.
for folks who are watching this on YouTube at some point in the future, possibly, Alan Chad asked if he had any regrets about using Dang as a meat shield, and I could have told you the answer was no. That's what Dang's there for. To suffer.
Someone's
What is,
already using you.
What do Shadow's levels look like?
I want to say she's probably in her early 20s by this point. Low, like 18s at the lowest. Like, she's definitely, from what we saw of Temple of Fiends, in a good position to make a 4-player party work. Really, the biggest thing holding her back right now is she doesn't have her she has her ninja swinging a light axe instead of the defense sword. So,
I mean, a scimitar is all you need.
well, yes, okay, yes, that's fair. A scimitar is all you need if you're a wild and crazy guy.
To be fair, I did have like 3 tempers on that seed, so don't try this at home.
Now, she does have the power bonk, so it's a viable option.
So with that quick check, she is in her early 20s.
Yeah, she's going to go ahead and make her climb up the Mirage Tower. She probably will check the 4 greed chests on the way. Actually, yeah, that is a good question. So, I did see you check the 5 greed chests in C once you were in go mode. Do you just not bother with those 4 chests when you're go moding Sky, or was that just I'm probably going to find the Maza on the way, or there's a good chance I'm going to find the Maza on the way, and if not, I can make the Sun Sword work.
Yeah, I think I was cool with making either Sun Sword or Defense Sword. With the way the Thief gets swings, you can usually make do with what you got. The fights would have been a little bit slower, but I think I still would have come out maybe under an hour with the Defense Sword. But as far as checking those chests go, I would think I was looking more towards another ribbon would be the most important thing, I think.
Yeah, but at that point, did you just figure that the chance of getting a ribbon wasn't worth the extra steps?
Yeah, because like the ones in C that I checked were pretty much free, I think. When you step into the Sharknado room, that's free, and then when you grab the I think it's like 2 steps for the ones on that long floor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, Shadow.
Yeah, again, there were a few people in chat who were abdicating skipping these. But you were gonna say something, Blaze?
I was gonna say Shadow is of Sky Tower, going directly for Warmac.
All right, yeah, that's fair. She's in as good a position as Spellzap was in. She's got that Maza. She's got plenty of firepower to make her way through the rest of the game. She has more than enough nukes to balance out, whatever she might have found. And she does still have access to wall if she remembered to pick that up early on.
Okay. So I didn't see all the levels. I just saw 21 on the ninja.
Yeah, so she's in the 20s, 21s, which squares with what Crab Cakes was saying that she's in the 19 to 20 range. So, yeah, from what we saw of Spellzap's dive, she's probably in pretty good position. Those nuclears that we saw may cause some issues, but that's about the worst of it. So, and yeah, with a ninja, a red mage, and a black mage at her disposal, she's got more than enough buffs to where if she can weather the AoEs, she's in fantastic shape.
And it looks like she's now doing just Death and Mayhem. That, with the Black Mage being named Xena, not Dang. This.
Yeah, but that was all, like, that pretty much got her key party members in a good place.
Oh yeah.
And the black mage will still do work. It's just that work will be cast 2 spells and then take a quick nap.
There's nothing wrong with dirt naps. They're quite comfy. The right spells app. Oh, I'm sorry, dang.
I think Dang's actually here, but yeah. So, Spell, you got anything else you want to talk about, or you want to go ahead and kind of slip on out?
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about my overall strategy here. The thief red mage.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, that does bring up a question. Was there any temptation to bring one of those white mages back when you saw the spells in Elfland?
It was not really. No, the I guess the spells weren't really that enticing as far as what was it? There was Fade and Life 2, maybe.
Invis 2 and Fade white mage locked, and then Life 2 white mage locked.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. Ale is saying off screen, Chaos has 2 orbs lit. SVJ is beefing up for his.
Yeah, now he's. Yeah, sorry. It's. Yeah, Cal Subalu is 2 orbs in. SVJ is doing a BB grind real quick to head to Topher. And Danny is on her 3rd orb. So.
And
yeah,
Cece's asking us to educate, or asking you to educate us ducklings on the new meta.
Okay, so the whole idea behind a thief red mage is that I don't know why it works, but it goes fast. And what I'm trying to actually do here is that I'm trying to shift the meta into sort of like what people think is good, and then I'll come back out with a good, knight black mage strat, and just give them.
Okay, look, there's an easy explanation for why it's fast. Both ninjas and red wizards are red. Ninjas are naturally fast to begin with, and everyone knows the red ones go faster. So, duh.
Double fast, yeah, I see.
Don't get it.
It's a Warhammer 40k reference. Don't worry about it.
You gotta make it orky.
Sorry.
Yeah, and I guess at the same time, red mage and ninja both bring more DACA, so yeah, no, it checks out.
I'm sorry. I don't want to spend about $5,000 on Warhammer 40k when I can do that in Magic.
Yeah, but the memes are free.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, so.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
But yeah, no, it does make sense to me, especially with the ninja buffs on, that would be really fast, because that is raw offense. With just enough defense if the spells fall right, to where, if you run into a little bit of a hazard, you can kind of crawl your way out of it.
I think truthfully it comes down to fight selection, where you can use the ninja to pretty much always run away from fights you don't want to take. Because you are supposed to take a lot of fights if you're 2-manning, but basically you get the option of getting the low XP fights out of the way, or the ones that that kind of have something nasty out of the way.
Oh yeah, even without thief buffs, that was the main reason I would bring a thief along if I could, is that ability to go, you know what? No, I'm not fighting this. I'm moving on with my life. Speaking of moving on with her life, Shadow Wisher, I believe, has all 4 orbs lit.
Mm-hmm. She just killed Lich in 1 round.
Well, yes, that's what you do with Lich. You kill him in 1 round because he's Lich. And the devs have not yet had that rush of cruelty to decide to implement the Respect Lich flag.
I want to see that.
I do too. It would be another one of those flags that only me and all of the other crazy people like.
I would actually probably play with that. Always on.
It would really just show the importance of the Quake spell.
I'm sorry, but I think does it still count as a respect Lich flag if you don't respect Lich
Oh.
like that?
But isn't it respecting Lich more if you think that he's going to roll some, or he's got ridiculous stats that the best move is to use a instant kill?
You make a fair point, but
No, I think I would have to try the 2-man strats. I normally run 4-man, but thank you, Spell.
yeah. El Markin letting us know that we have a race right now. SVJ probably about a floor behind Shadow Wisher. I'm not sure we can actually get him pulled up to do a side to side, but it is one of those things where hopefully our track will be able to keep us posted on his progress through the Temple of Fiends.
Okay. Come on. I completely forgot what I was going to ask or say. It was all about when you guys were talking about respecting Lich, so thanks.
All right, I've gone ahead and put out a hey, is there any way request real quick. So we might see if that can happen, but if it doesn't happen, we at least have folks who can keep us posted on what's happening off stream. But for the moment, we got Shadow Wisher making her way toward Lich 2, which
It'll be a paper fight.
yeah, I think really Kraken 2 is the first point where we really saw some troublesome, fiends.
Honestly, I think Asu just beat Tiamat. CJ just came up to carry 2.
Looks like he must have had better encounter,
RNG.
a better position in the encounter table, and possibly was better at running. Oh yeah, SVJ is also BB, so he's just punching everything to death.
Yeah. Kraken was the real boss, not anything else. Tiamat kind of went... truthfully, from what I saw.
Alright, so yeah, we're getting a little more information on this runner who's probably going to finish in second. SVJ is apparently doing Knight, Black Belt, Red Wizard, Black Wizard. And Shadow Wisher, as you can see, is, slightly less offense, but a little more, but a little less dependence on grinding, so...
Oh, that's what I remembered. I saw in chat Knight and Rainbow. What is Rainbow?
So, Rainbow refers to having all 3 colors of mage.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so a Rainbow Mage party is a red mage, a white mage, and a black mage, and then whatever you take for the 4th slot. And the easiest way to refer to them is just whatever your 4th character is, Rainbow. So a Thief Rainbow is obviously Thief Red, White, Black. Fighter Rainbow is Fighter Red, White, Black.
Okay.
So it's one of the most common formations to see because it assures good magic coverage and gives you enough survivability for the early game between the fighter and the red mage. So carry 2 goes down without too much trouble.
Ale is just letting us know that SVJ just passed Kraken 2. Kasu just killed Tiamat and is diving Lich 1.
And Danny is plunging into Topher, so Yeah, we're coming up on the end game for most of our runners, so I suspect if no one runs in too much trouble, most everyone will be done by the
15 minutes.
hour. Uh, Probably I'd say hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, because I think Calsa Blue is still working their way through the Fiends, so it's going to take a little bit longer to get to Temple of Fiends.
Oh, Kasu's
But,
actually done with all the fiends. He's heading into Lich. Oh no, you're right. Sorry, he's heading into Lich 1. My apologies.
Yeah. Oh, but the Red Mage goes down, and the Knight does not have life because life and life 2 are both level 4. So Shadow Wisher might be in a little bit of trouble here. She should be able to get through this Kraken, but after that is where the difficulties start.
Oh, 2-man knight and
Okay, yeah, that lack of fat. Okay, yeah, there's the reset.
ouch. This is a second wipe for Shadow. That hurts.
But yeah, so
That hurts.
yeah, that's kind of, that's kind of the danger of that Kraken is you just kind of have to wait for it. But SVJ did get a second place finish while that was happening with a time of 1 hour 16 minutes and 45 seconds. So
He one-shots Chaos.
but yeah, that Chaos had maybe 2,000 health, if even that much. So
He didn't even have that. He had about 1,600.
so yeah. So yeah, at this point, we're just going to keep up with Shadow Wisher. Danny is a little bit ahead of her, and Cal Sabaloo is a little bit behind her. So
The one good thing is Shadow already knows that to Kraken 2 is a cakewalk.
yeah, that's true. So she'll be able to conserve some of her firepower. I wish she would just swap off of that light axe, though. That light axe is doing her no favors on that ninja. And I think that just comes down to not realizing that defense sword is almost as good as a sun sword, which is, good enough to beat the game if you don't have something better.
Well, those situations where you live and learn. I'm actually learning a lot. Just from you, truthfully.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things. One of my goals with commentary is to, make sure that people understand what's going on with the game. But yeah, so chat keeping us surprised. Danny is apparently just a few steps ahead of Shadow Walker, pulling carry 2. So
And Kasu just entered Topher at 1 hour 18 minutes and 15 seconds.
yeah, so this is going to be a pretty close race because I don't believe any of our remaining runners are running black belts and thus are, cheating.
It's not cheating if you don't get caught. And SVJ never got caught.
You make a fair point there.
Because the only thing that would really have caught SVJ would have been Kraken 2. And, well, that didn't happen.
Yep. All right, so fast to temper, and Shadow is through carry 2. So, yeah, it is one of those things, aside from that Kraken just kind of, having that early nuclear and that blaze, this Temple of Fiends really doesn't have too much to slow someone down.
You can run from the waters. Everything is just easy mode, almost.
Yeah, everything you'd want to run away from is runnable. And if you can make it through this Kraken 2, you're in great shape. Yeah, I'm not an opponent of low-level Topher dives, honestly. Like, if you have the right spells to put down, you're in you're going to be able to make it through. But oh, look, there's stun once more being a problem.
Yeah. And the ninja is down in one shot. Okay. See a lot of stuff in both chat and on the commentary, and in why 42 for a level black belt.
So a black belt starting at level 22 gains an extra 2 hits barehanded every 10 levels.
Okay.
So 42 is the last point at which your black belt will gain an extra set of hits. Also, I just realized that Shadow Wisher did not pick up Cure 4 on her Red Mage. So that I was sitting here wondering, why hasn't she Cure 4 that night? And the answer is she can't. So
And
Cure
she's gonna
4,
be sad.
she may still be like, if she can manage to squeeze out of this Kraken fight, there she goes. Bracken's the Kraken. She can pick this party up.
Congratulations, Shadow.
Yeah, no, like, this is one of the things I love the most about about Final Fantasy 1 is you can always fall back on the instant kill spells. They're not always going to save you, but more often than not, they will get you out of the fire. But what I was going to say, Cure 4 will fix anything except stone and life, and stone and dying in combat. Anything else, a Cure 4 will immediately fix. So, it's definitely, if you can get access to it, situations like that are why you bring Cure 4 along.
Yeah. And I personally love when I can find a cure for a weapon and a nuke weapon. The entire seed is troll mold now.
Yeah. But I don't believe Tiamat's going to have anything that's going to... Oh, wow!
That worked
Okay.
so quick.
Okay, so Danny was a little bit ahead because of that, but I'm pretty sure Shadow Wisher just just flipped that script all the way around.
Asu just started carry 2. The cloud is like, hold my masa.
Alright, so
She
I'm just
actually
gonna go ahead.
changed the weapon.
Alright, so yeah, this is basically beef up that knight and then go to town.
And there goes our Cure 4. As we know, the next spell will be Nuclear.
Alright, apparently that step or two that Danny had getting into Tier 2, Shadow has gone ahead and closed it with that YOLO Brack. So
Didn't do Nuke. Okay. He went with Fire 3. This is going to make Chaos even that much squishier.
yeah, it's one of those things when Shadow starts swinging, this Chaos is not going to last very long.
Okay, Chaos is now in Kraken 2.
So, spells versus skills. So, long story short, every enemy in the game... but, we'll talk about this after the fact. So, yeah, Shadow has started to swing, 700 damage. This next hit is probably going to be sufficient. If I had to take a guess.
It hits
And, yep,
1600 damage.
yeah. So,
GG Shadow.
yeah, while we're waiting for Shadow to join us, which incidentally Shadow finished literally 4 seconds ahead of Danny. Danny had a little bit of trouble inputting her time in SRL, so the official time is 11 seconds apart. 1 hour 24 minutes 23 seconds versus 1 hour 24 minutes 34 seconds. But nonetheless, yeah, like that
Shadow
was
Witcher.
super close.
Yeah.
GG Shadow.
Thank you. Thank you.
GG Shadow. Those two Bracks were just fantastic to look at.
Hail Mary Brax. That's what that was.
Right? And Carrie being rude up right off the bat in your first run. Ouch.
I've had that happen several times now. I'm used to it.
Yeah. So, Shadow, I have to ask, because when you watch the VOD, you'll hear me ask it several times. Why the light axe on the ninja?
At the time, I was looking in case I needed to cast harm. The ninja could, or the thief could do something. Otherwise, I ain't got a clue.
Alright, because yeah, you had the Sun Sword and you had the Defense Sword, and both of those in a ninja's hands are deadly with the fixes on.
Right. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's just... If you want a little bit of advice for future reference, Defense Sword is only slightly worse than Sun Sword, and Sun Sword's basically the third or fourth best sword in the game.
Right.
Other than that, no, you did a very solid job. A lot of the time that you kind of lost on Spell Zap came from following threads that he didn't, because he kind of pieced together what he didn't need to do very quickly and just kind of blazed it from there. But outside of taking that hit on Carrie and Kraken 2 almost getting you twice, but only getting you once, that was a pretty clean run, all things considered.
Yeah, especially since most of my chest opening was just looking for money, of all things.
I can believe that. Because, yeah, that was a max price Oxyel in Gaia.
Yep.
In chat, we're being told that Kasu is fighting Chaos, so...
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, no, this could still be a sub 130 clear for everyone.
Which would be really good for Kasu, because I know he's relatively new, all things considered.
This would have probably taken me about 2 hours. Truth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, GG on getting the sub 130 yourself, and, like, apparently Danny pulled Chaos about 2 seconds ahead of you. Yeah. And yeah, there's the end of the race right there. Kasu finishes in 1 hour 28:06. So GG's to all 5 of our racers for getting the sub 130 clear. Nice, clean, to the point. See, I'm just trying to think.
What was your thoughts on the paperness of Temple Fiends minus the Kraken?
It was refreshing to be able to mostly walk through without too much worry, other than, like you said, Kraken being rude. But, you know, Kraken 2 is not called a gatekeeper without reason.
Normally it's either her or Tiamat as the gatekeepers.
Yep. For me lately, it's been Kraken more than anything.
Yeah. So, alright, here's a question. I asked Spellzap the same thing. About what point did you realize that you were in go mode?
After I got the ruby. I had to think for a second. It's like, I realized I didn't have the rod. It's like, where did I not check? And then it clicked. I hadn't gone in the waterfall, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, that's not a bad point to kind of, deviate from the golden path on. All it would have taken is 2 items being flipped in location, and, Spellzap would have been running down the wrong thread for a minute while you were, running down the right path.
Yeah.
So, yeah, nothing wrong there.
Just a slight divergence, and that was it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Let's see. Yeah, you also made the ice play early, and I assume it was for similar reasons to what Spells app did, where it was this is the only, my routing is going to depend entirely on if this box has something good in it, so I need to find out what's in this box.
Pretty much. Yeah, the whole time I was thinking I need to get to ice ASAP so that I can see if I need to be looking for looses or not.
Yeah, so... And fortunately this time around, you just had to worry about money, because there was a little fairy in that box.
Yeah.
One of the things that both of us noticed is you did not pick up Life 2 or Cure 4.
Well, she didn't have any white mages on the Life
yeah,
2
they were.
front.
I was pretty sure Life 2 was locked, and I kind of forgot where Cure 4 was.
Cure 4 was that?
Wolfland. Level 3, if I recall correctly.
Hold on. Our tracker actually took notes on this. No, it was level 5, and I think it was first or second slot in level 5 white magic. So that was red mage accessible.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I made a change to a black wizard because I couldn't remember spell permissions off the top of my head for temper and where temper and fast landed.
So with fast, that one's easy to remember because that's the warp slot, and warp is class change locked.
Okay.
So yeah, it's that third slot of level 5 black magic is warp and vanilla, so that's the one you got a class change for. And with level 6, at least on a red wizard, you only ever get that top slot of black magic.
Mm-hmm.
So those two are actually fairly polite. It's the level 3 and level 4 white magic that tends to be the ones that are just and level 5 white magic that tend to be the ones where it's just I don't know what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall that was, fairly clean. Yeah, that Cure 4 probably would have helped you out a lot with Kraken 2, but Cure 4... But if you hadn't had that help on Kraken 2, we wouldn't have had a fantastic little set of events there with the back-to-back brack. Or I think as someone put in chat, brack-to-brack.
Yeah. Definitely gonna have to watch it back to see everyone's reaction to that, because I was utterly amazed that they hit.
All of us, chat included, was like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah, no, that made the difference between you coming in third and coming in fourth.
Yep.
Because that basically bought you back all of the time you lost having to having to deal with Kraken. So, any final thoughts before we kind of close up shop here?
Not really.
All right, Blaze, anything you got to say?
Thank you for the runs. I'm learning a lot. Hopefully, I can continue being the noob commentator and learn more.
All right. Well, in that case, Spells App, if you're still here, you're also welcome to throw up some final thoughts.
He's not.
All right. Well, in that case, thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting us tonight, and thank you to everyone who joined us in chat for a pretty fast, pretty fun little run. We'll be back here next week, and we'll be here on Friday. Well, not here, but you know what I mean. Feel free to follow those
networks.
Yeah, somewhere on the Speed Gaming family of networks. Thank you. And so, follow these two runners if you enjoyed them. Feel free to follow the commentary team if you enjoyed them. And otherwise, we will catch you on the flip side. Good night, Speed Gaming.
Bye.